think we're on part 5 now of our little trifold journal memory keeper thing. So where we left off in part 4, we had put our signatures in, we had put this pocket in the front, and we had made our folders for in here. So I believe that is where we left off. I was thinking now that we've got the main structure made to this, now it's time to decorate it, and I thought maybe we could just do that, I guess, from front to back, so it's a little systematic. You decorate yours however you want. However, if you want yours to be identical, then I will tell you exactly what I am using and where. So on the front cover, I have, let me see here, I have, let's see, Nature Remedies 5 on the reverse. What is this? Oh, Nature Remedies number 13, that's the file name. And then on the back side, I used Nature Remedies 5, which is just the plain tan. I am using Nature Remedies 18. That's the file name. Come on and get in focus. There we go. Nature Remedies 18 with Nature Remedies 5 on the reverse. Nature Remedies 15 with Nature Remedies 5 on reverse. I just chose it because it was a simple plain color and you could still write on it. Nature Remedies 16 with Nature Remedies 5 on the reverse side. So that was Nature Remedies files 13, 15, 16, and 18. Okay, I'll make sure I put those in the description box below. In fact, let me make a note to remember to do that. Nature Remedies 13, 15, 16, and 18. Okay. Yep, just want to check, make sure I had them right. So what I am going to be using for the cover is this tag off of number 15. I'm going to use the library card from number 18. And I'm using the periwinkle card from number 16. Those are what's going to go in my pockets. So I'm going to cut those out and come right back. Okay. Okay, so I've cut them all out. I've inked them up, and now I'm just going to place them in my pocket. And on my original, I did not put any little ties or anything in my tags. I just didn't want that distraction and all that loose stuff, but you can absolutely do that if you want to. Okay, now let's work on this part down here. So we are going to use, let's see, I'm using this little square picture from 18, Nature Remedies 18. I am using the ticket that says time from Nature Remedies 13. I am using the yellow circular picture on file Nature Remedies 16. And I am using one of the butterflies from Nature Remedies 18. And I am using the words Natural Remedies from Nature Remedies 16. Okay. All right, I'm going to cut those out, and then when I come back, we'll assemble this. I'm just inking up my last piece here, and then we will assemble this on our pocket. There, good enough. Okay, now this one, I think I didn't put this in the supply list. This is kind of a last minute decision. I think I'm going to use some cheesecloth behind my elements here. And if you don't have cheesecloth, just a scrap of old fabric that you've raveled out the edges on will work great for that. Gauze from the medicine cabinet works great in place of cheesecloth. I'm just cutting a little little piece there, and I think what I'll do is I'll trim off anything extra after I get my pieces glued down. So I find it easier if I just set the cheesecloth where I'm going to want to use it. Would have helped if I'd ironed it first, probably. It was wadded up in my drawer. Okay, and my base piece or bottom piece was this one, so I'll start with that one. And usually the way I glue with cheesecloth is I put my glue on, usually a thinner layer. There's not as much glue coming out there as what it looks like. I set it on my cheesecloth and see there's not enough glue to glue it down to where I need it to. So then I pull it back over and put some glue now on my cheesecloth. If you put a real heavy layer of glue on first, you should get enough to seep through your cheesecloth and glue it all down. But if you're using fabric, I think you'd have to use a lot of glue to do that. So, okay, put that there. It might be easier if I, hang on a second, if I open this up. There we go. Now I've got it nice and flat. I'm going to bring this other one back in the picture so I can remember what we're doing. There we go. Okay. Then I want my time ticket on there. So you might have seen in the last couple of videos I've put out that I went on a little small mini, I'd call it a craft retreat, but we didn't get much crafting done. It was more just girl time with Lisa, my best friend from, she has, her channel is Serious Hecka, and her shop is Body Mind Spirit Store, or Body Mind Spirit Shop? Nope, Body Mind Spirit Store. I always have to think about that. But she and I met halfway between her house and my house. So it was only, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at the most for each of us. And stayed in a hotel for a couple of nights. No worries. We made sure we sanitized our rooms, even though the hotel said they'd already been sanitized. We wore our masks whenever we left. Actually, the hotel has a rule that anytime you're outside your room, you had to have mask on. So we did that. And we had both been extremely careful before we met up. So we had kind of stayed away from public areas for a couple weeks before we met up. So no worries. We had basically quarantined before we got together to make sure we weren't giving each other anything. So we were as safe can be. But anyway, we had a good time. We did a lot of chatting and binged watch a show on Netflix together, and some snacking, a little bit of crafting. We both just brought whatever project we were working on, and we did run over to Michael's. That was the only bit of shopping we did. Neither one of us is going out to many stores right now, so we didn't do too much shopping. That was okay. It was good just to relax and have fun together. I just slid that Remedies one underneath the butterfly wing just to get a little bit of layering there. Last piece. Anyway, so we had a good time. We need to do that more often. It's nice to have a friend who enjoys the same hobby as I do. Okay, and I'm going to put that just a little bit above it. And that is my cover. I think I'm going to trim off a little bit of that cheesecloth, though. There's a lot of that hanging off. And then I'm just going to give it a little tug and see if I need to put any glue behind it. And I think I'll put a little smidge right back there. Make sure that holds down. Also want to make sure that Some of my glue seeped through my pocket. Using Fabri-Tac, that's not too big of a deal. I just rub it off. But I was silly. The first time I did this, though, I did take a piece of paper, scrap piece of paper. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. And I stuck it down in my pocket to do all my gluing on first, and then put my items in my pocket. So, you know, do as I say, not as I do. And there we go. Those will be fine. I just had a little bit of glue on them. Just rub that off. Actually, I'll just leave those out so in case there's any more wet glue back there. Okay, like I said, do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. I get ahead of myself sometimes, especially when I'm on camera. Okay, glue or trim that off. Just a hair. What do you think? I think I like the one with the cheesecloth better. So I like that. Okay, let's see. What's the next thing we're going to embellish? Oh, the pocket. We're going to do that pocket inside. On this pocket, and I will let you know what files I used for that. Let's see, I used the other butterfly. That was on Nature Remedies 18. I used this picture right here that was also on Nature Remedies 18. Okay, so that was the butterfly in that. Then I used the word herbal. And that was on, I'll find it here real quick. That was on page Nature Remedies 17. Okay, and I did print 5 on the Nature Remedies 5 on the back of all of these. Okay, and yeah, that was it. The butterfly, that, and the word herbal. And I have some little trims here and a little piece of book page. So I'm going to cut those out and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I've got my little pieces ready, and now I'm going to find a little book page to use. And I'm just pulling something out of this old Encyclopedia of Gardening. It's a book from, I think it was from the 60s. I thought, well, that works well for what we're doing. Okay, just going to ink up the edges just a little bit. And that's not normally how I ink, but I do want it to look like a really grungy old book page, even though okay, it's not old. It's older than me, but it's not old. I'm not going to say that. That's not good. It's from the 60s. It's retro. There we go. That'll work. Okay, first I'm going to glue that book page down. I have seen that some of you are already working on this project, and I am so excited about that. I'm really, really enjoying all the pictures that you've posted. And yeah, so if you haven't showed me any pictures yet, if you're working on this project and I haven't seen it, I would love for you to show me your pictures. So tag me over on Instagram or post it on my TheBookVandalShop Facebook page. So I can see what you're doing. All right, I've got another little piece of cheesecloth. Again, you totally do not have to use cheesecloth at all. When I made the prototype, kind of did it in a bit of a hurry, because I was excited about it and excited at how well it was progressing. I wanted to hurry up and get a series of videos started. So I probably could have gone a little more detailed in my embellishing there. So I'm just setting it on my cheesecloth so I know where I want that to lay, and then I'll add some more glue here on the back. course, this pocket was pretty just as it was. It didn't need anything at all on top of it. Andrea and Tracie did a beautiful job with this kit. Absolutely beautiful. This is one of my favorites. So it really honestly didn't need any embellishing at all. So you totally could have left it plain. Putting a little bit of some trimming on here. And underneath that cheesecloth, I'll need to add a little more glue again. And let's see. Sorry, I've got my camera zoomed down pretty low today so you can see what I'm doing, and you get a glue bottle in your face most of the time, don't you? Sorry about that. Okay. And I'll just slide that back under the butterfly here in a minute. Okay, moving right along. That works. Yeah, I think I like it with the cheesecloth. It just adds a little bit extra grunginess. Okay, and I know I said all we were going to do was embellish and just go through and do that in systematic order. So you know what? We might as well make the tag book in this video. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's see. For the tag book, I used HB A4 tags 3. That's the file name. I'll make sure they're all below in the description box. Let me cut that out. I'm out of room on my paper over there to write notes, so that way I remember to put them on the thing. Okay, and then I am using, yep, that one on the back. This one, which was Nature Remedies 13, we used one of the tickets earlier. We're going to use this tag right here. Okay, and on my tag book, I used HB page 2. On the reverse side, it was the lines, okay? So, and then this one was Nature Remedies 13. We used the ticket, and it had the Nature Remedies 5 on the back, okay? And then I used HB A4 tags 1. Okay, so tags 1, 2, and 3. So there's HB A4 tags 1, tags 2, and this one was tags 3, and all of them have HB page 2 on the reverse side, the lines, okay? And then that one little tag that we've already used on that for now, okay? I'll put all of those in the description box below, and let me pause real quick so I can gain my bearings. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to make our tag book. I had to get my bearings straight for a minute. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the one tag sheet that has that on it, and the yellow flowers, and we're going to cut all 3 of them out in one big section. We're not going to cut them apart individually. Okay, just want to cut them out together, and we're going to fold them accordion style. And I'm not going to cut all of these out on camera this way. That would get very boring for you. I just want you to see what I'm doing the first time around. Okay, let me move this. And then I'm just going to come in here with my scissors and cut out these little V's. My hand's kind of shaky. I don't know if that means I've had too much coffee or not enough coffee. Probably means I need to go eat breakfast. Okay, so we're doing that right there, okay? And then we're going to fold on these lines. back and forth. Okay, just like that. All right, and then ink up the edges. We'll be doing that. And then on the one I made, I did not punch the holes out. I just inked them. So now you need to go ahead and cut out the other 2 tag sheets, okay? Just the same way that you did these, okay? And fold them the same way you folded this one. Get them all inked up, get them all folded and cut out, or cut out and folded. And then I will show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so everything's cut out, okay? And I've inked on the fronts and the backs, mostly just, you know, right here in between. The front side was pretty well inked on the printout, okay? And then I folded them accordion style, so they would fold both ways nice and easily, and I did that to all 3. Okay, and what we're going to do now is attach them. So let's see, this was going to be my first one, and then this one is going to be my second one, and this one is going to go in the back. Okay, so I'm going to lay them down. Let me move my camera here. Sorry, that's probably kind of loud whenever I do that. I apologize. I'm going to lay them next to each other. Okay, and it's okay that they're not perfectly the same size. It's just fine. And I am going to use some washi tape because it looks just fine whenever we do that. I'm using some Tim Holtz washi tape. You could use masking tape even and then just grungy it up. It would look just fine that way. And I am just straddling the seam where they meet, okay? Now, I don't know about your washi tape, but a lot of mine is not super, super adhesive because I don't think it was created to be a permanent thing. I want mine to be permanent. So all I did was lay it down so I know where it's going to go. And then I just pull it back a little bit, about halfway up. Put my glue down. Just a really light bead of glue. Not much. A little goes a long, long way. Okay. And I'm just going to lay my washi tape back down over the top of it. Okay. Do the same thing up here. That one stuck pretty good. Pretty well, but that's okay. I want to ensure it sticks forever. Just a little light bead of glue right under my washi tape. Okay. I'm not cutting it off. I'm just going to flip this over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Now that I've got it established where it's going to go, I can probably just put my bead of glue down as I go. Okay, I'm going to trim it off. And give it another good fold. There we go. Now we're going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to attach this tag sheet to this tag right here, and I'm going to use the exact same method. So I'm going to do that and then come back. So I've got them all attached together. Now I'm going to put this little eyelet in. Don't have to do that. You could just punch a hole and put your string in or whatever you're using. but I kind of like the look of the eyelet. And you don't have to use an eyelet at all. They've already designed this to have what looks like, you know, a metal eyelet already in it, so it looks cool. I think I forgot to ink that one, because I'm not going to do anything with those. I'm going to leave them like they are. I just didn't want them to be kind of bright. Okay. Put my eyelet in. I'm just using a standard size 3/16 eyelet. And so my crocodile says to use A1 for that setting, so that's what I'm using. Okay. Set that down on the floor. And I'm just going to use a little bit of sari silk. Just so you know, and I hope I remember. Here, I'll write a note. I get all my sari silk from... oh shoot, now I can't even think of her name. Gypsy. I'll have to think about that. I'll put her link below, but I buy all my sari silk from her online on Etsy, and I get some really nice quality sari silk. And it comes in a big old bundle, and it'll be all wrinkled up when you get it. I like to just take a piece of chipboard and wrap my sari silk around that kind of flat as I wind it. And then, and sometimes I do it in small sections, you know. I'll get a little bit wound up on there, and then I'll go ahead and cut it. That way it's in a manageable chunk, and it doesn't get all tangled. Victorian Gypsy Girl? Is that her name? Like I said, I'll make sure I put it below. I wrote a reminder note. I'm having troubles getting that into the eyelet. Victorian Gypsy Girl. I think that's her name. I hate it when I forget a name, and it's like it drives you crazy until you can finally think of it, you know? There. Okay. And then all I did was take some book page, tore it out a little bit, inked it up, and I used the word healing that was already on one of our pages we printed out and glued that on there, okay, to embellish it a little bit. I had a little scrap piece of fabric. You use fabric or cheesecloth or whatever you wanted. I'm not going to do that part on camera because that's easy enough. Now, the next thing I did for our little booklet is... so just fold it like an accordion. This is your first page, so fold it like an accordion. Okay, so it looks like that on the front, and your back side should be lined. Okay, so that's the side we're going to play with now. And for that image here, we are using the Water Mint tag. And that is coming from the file Nature Remedies 13. Okay, Nature Remedies 13. And we had used one of the tickets off of that earlier. So now we're going to use this tag right here. And I'm just going to quickly cut this out. I've done so much starting and stopping on my video and pausing that I'm going to have a horrible time trying to get it all pieced together. So I'm just going to cut this out off camera, or on camera. It will only take a minute. And I'm using my tiny scissors because my big ones are in the other room. Take me longer to go get them than it would just cut them out with my little scissors. Alrighty, ink up the edges real quick. I don't need to do the back side because it's going to get glued down, so I'm going to have to open that up. Normally I use the Tim Holtz Distress ink. I like the Gathered Twigs, but it was getting a little dried out. I need to refresh it or add some ink to it, so I am using the Distress Oxide, which is not really what this is made to do, and that's in the vintage photo. The Distress Oxide, it's a different formula. It's made to where you can add some, I think, You spray it with like water and it does movement. I don't know. Tim Holtz has a cool video on how to use his inks different ways. I'm grabbing some twine back here out of my box. Okay. And I am just going to measure about what I need. This is going to be the little tie that keeps it all closed. So I'm just wrapping it around, tying it. I think I'd like my strings to be a little bit longer. Okay. Sorry, I'll stop throwing my scissors down. I know that makes it loud on the camera. I'm just going to tie knots at the end of my baker's twine here so it doesn't untwist. Okay. Turn this over. And I'm going to find the halfway mark on my string. Okay, there it is. So that's going to go halfway there. Is it going to stay? Yes, it is. Okay, now I'm going to take my water mint tag that we just cut out. And I am going to glue, glue bookers. You use whatever glue you are comfortable with. Okay, and that is holding our string on to tie up our little tag booklet. Now, on mine, I took it to the sewing machine. I can get that to come into focus. Anyway, I took it to the sewing machine and sewed around the edges. That is totally up to you if you want to do that, okay? Anyway, and then go ahead and embellish the front side with whatever you want to. This is how I did mine. Some book page and the word healing. Okay, and that goes in that front pocket right here in the front. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for today. So I'm going to wrap it up, and when we come back next time, we're going to work on the pockets for the inside right here. Okay, all right, happy crafting. Don't forget to tag me and post those photos. I'd love to see what you've created, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.